can't do duck calls. So it's the Anaheim Ducks, and it's a 2013 Ducks that I'm going to be doing that. Now, just to let you know, I nearly said, you know what, the Ducks don't deserve a what if because they did nothing wrong. But then I found out this because I'm like, I have 27, and then there's 4 franchises that don't get one. But I'm like, well, let's make it an even number. So I'm making the Ducks one of them. And I found out about this team, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember watching that thing live, and we haven't even talked about this particular playoff season. Just to let you know that Vegas, Florida, Nashville, and yeah, Vegas, Florida, and Nashville don't get a what if. They don't deserve it. Vegas, well, they're in their 3rd year. Florida has not really been to the playoffs a lot, so they don't deserve anything. And their best chance of a what if would have been 96, but they were in the finals, and that's an automatic disqualification. And Nashville, well, I don't think they deserve to win any series that they didn't want to. So anyway, let's talk about the Anaheim Ducks. In 1993, Anaheim got a franchise. The Disney company basically got lucky with a franchise. So they basically put their hockey movie franchise, the Mighty Ducks, as a film, as basically to sell merchandise and to get everyone hyped up about the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. Moving on. Of course, you don't really see much things other than the Mighty Ducks in season 1, like the first Mighty Ducks movie and all that. Not really a lot to do with an NHL franchise. And then and then when it came to number 2, they played the final at Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, where the arena is going to be, and they wear the familiar duck crest and all that. So basically, it was just a merchandising vehicle. All that. The Ducks did okay in '94. They were close to a playoff spot, but failed near the end. '96, they had a chance to make the playoffs, but missed on the final day thanks to the Jets, despite getting Timo Solani from Winnipeg. In '97, the Ducks finally made the playoffs, took care of Phoenix, and took care of the things. They should have taken care of the Detroit Red Wings, but the Red Wings easily got them. The Ducks suffered a big loss in '98 when Paul Kariya was concussed out of the league thanks to a Gary Sutter illegal check just before the Olympics happened. And the stupid thing is, Gary Sutter was allowed to play on the U.S. Olympic team, but not in the NHL. 99, 2000, the Ducks weren't that good. But in 2003, they had a Cinderella story. Facing the defending Stanley Cup champion Detroit Red Wings, Anaheim decided to use J.S. Jaguar, a cast-off from Calgary and Hartford, to play net. And he put on a clinic. 63 saves in his first playoff appearance. A triple overtime win for the Ducks. I think it was Paul Kariya who scored the winning goal in overtime in Game 1 against the Red Wings. And Kurtis Joseph. Strange as it sounds, the Red Wings thought they were going to roll over the Ducks. But they didn't. And the Ducks swept the Red Wings, which was shocking in itself. Steve Thomas and Steve Ruchin basically helped them out. Ruchin scored the winning goal. Hockey Town is now Golf Town, as Dave Randorf said on the TSN broadcast. So the Ducks took care of that. They would take on the Dallas Stars, and in the second longest game in the past 50 years, Peter Sikora scored early in the 5th overtime to sink the Dallas Stars. Dallas would also have another massive overtime game in 2007 against the Vancouver Canucks. I'm just saying. So anyway, the Anaheim Ducks breezed through Dallas and now took on Minnesota. It was basically going to be whoever won would be the underdogs to Ottawa or New Jersey in the Stanley Cup Finals. Anaheim used Shea Jaguar's 6 saves and great efforts. They took care of Minnesota in a sweep. The Ducks took on the Devils in the Stanley Cup Finals. They did force a Game 7, but they couldn't win a game in New Jersey, whereas the Devils couldn't win a game in Anaheim. It was funny seeing that series, Brodeur with he missed the stick, and then the puck goes off the stick and into the net. And then, of course, Paul Kariya in Game 6 coming back from a near-fatal head hit from Scott Stevens to score a key goal to knock Brodeur flat. Off the floor, on the board, Paul Kariya. That's the great Gary Forn said on ABC. So anyway, the Ducks and Devils. Ducks couldn't believe themselves losing Game 7 of the 2003 Stanley Cup Finals. But they got a gift. They got Corey Perry in the draft, which was amazing. Anyway, the Ducks actually ended up picking second in the 2005 draft, the draft that had Crosby in it. They got Bobby Ryan. Good pick, but Bobby Ryan does so much better for other teams. So anyway, the Ducks were trying to carve out a niche, changing their name from the Mighty Ducks to just the Ducks. So anyway, Anaheim tries and might just didn't do too well in the playoffs and all that. But in 2007, they actually did well enough to get to the Stanley Cup Finals and face Ottawa for the Cup. It would have been funny seeing Anaheim and Ottawa. They almost faced each other 4 years prior, but the Devils took care of Ottawa in the conference finals. So anyway, the Ducks did much better with a great talent like the Niedermeyer brothers, Scott and Rob, being reunited, and with Chris Pronger on the team, the Ducks looked good. And Team Solani finally got his cup. Great times to be an Anaheim Mighty Duck fan, or a Duck fan, if you will. Anaheim's done decently. 2014, they had a chance to knock out the LA Kings, but failed, despite the efforts of a rookie by the name of John Gibson, who still plays for the Ducks. And is, yes, that's right, Kitchener. So anyway, the Ducks in 2013 looked good. They were the 2 seed in the 2013 playoffs, the last playoffs to have the 1-8 format, whereas now you have division finals. The top team in the division would face a wild card team, and the top and second and third place in the division face each other. So practically, the Ducks thought they were good. It was a back and forth series for the Detroit Red Wings that we thought would probably be one of the greatest series of all time, and we weren't disappointed. As the Ducks, although they lost in 7 games to the Red Wings, that was one of their best finals. And I remember watching that 2013 playoff series. Of course, 2013 was when the NHL had to go through a 48-game schedule and had a shortened season. And we saw Montreal versus Ottawa in the 2013 Stanley Cup Finals, or Stanley Cup playoffs, and saw the Boston Bruins shock the Leafs in the 2013 playoffs. Now, the funny thing is that I think if Ottawa had beaten Boston or something, I don't know what the last game of the season was for that. Toronto would have faced Montreal. And I think it would have been something. I don't remember what it was, who I wanted to win that game. Because Toronto would have faced Montreal and then Ottawa would have faced Boston. Yeah, I wanted Ottawa to win so that Ottawa would face Boston, Toronto would face Montreal, and Toronto might have had a chance. So anyway, the Toronto Maple Leafs aside, Chicago went on a rampage. Of course, remember, the Blackhawks were the team that had that long unbeaten streak to start the season. All that. So anyway, now in real life, the Red Wings, number 7 seed, took on the number 1 Chicago Blackhawks and nearly pulled one out of the hat. They were up 3 games to 1, but the Hawks came back to win in 7 games. And the Kings took care of the Sharks in 7. And then Chicago took care of Los Angeles before winning the Stanley Cup. True story. The day after Chicago played Detroit and finished them off, I was actually at my parents' farm, and my dad said, "Well, who do you think will win the Stanley Cup?" And I say, "Well, let's see, maybe Chicago and Boston." And I say Chicago in 6. Lo and behold, Chicago won the Stanley Cup against Boston in 6 games. I just didn't know about that. It's akin to me in 2011 saying that the Canucks were going to win the Stanley Cup. We're going to the Stanley Cup. Like, weeks before the Stanley Cup playoffs were even made. So anyway, now that the Ducks have won, the Ducks are the 2 seed. So numbers 1, 2, 5, and 6 were the winners. San Jose, as the lowest remaining seed, would take on Chicago, and the Kings would deal with the Ducks. Of course, the Ducks are home ice because of the 2 seed. Chicago obviously won the Stanley Cup. So if Anaheim stumbles at any point, then the Blackhawks will be given the Stanley Cup for the time being. So here we go. It's Johnny Quick against Jonas Hiller. The Kings versus the Ducks. And first and foremost, we see an overtime heroics from Los Angeles. Kings actually were up 3-0 in this game. Kyle Clifford, Mike Richards, Kitchener, and Jeff Carter made it 3-0. And then Nick Bonino made it 3-1. Mike Boletsky scored, make it 3-2. And then after Mike Richards got penalized, it was Corey Perry to make it 3-3. But Dustin Brown at 12 minutes of overtime scores from Kopitar and Dowdy. So anyway, 4-3. Richards, Carter, Clifford, the 3 stars. Or Ducks. I thought they would get at least 1 star of the game. Well, the Ducks come back to win 5-3 in game number 2. Palmieri and Cogliano made it 2-0. Dowdy and Carter made it 2-2. And then the Ducks put some pucks on the net. Corey Perry for pair, and then he even scores a hat trick. Goal in the empty net. 5-3. So at 1-1, you got Perry, Getzlav, and Brown. That's the 3 stars. And switch, please. Game 3. The Kings won 3-1. So anyway, the Kings 3 goals. Dustin Brown, Jeff Carter, and Jeff Carter. Bobby Ryan scored for the Ducks. So yeah, 3-1. Quick Carter Hiller. That's a funny name. Quick Carter Hiller. Huh. Game 4 sees the Kings win again 4-2, so they look like the Ducks are going to be out of it. Cogliano scored for the Ducks, and Jeff Carter. Cogliano made it 2-1, but Carter scores a hat trick, and then Mike Richards puts one in the empty net. Kitchener. Hiller returns to the net, so it looks like the Ducks didn't deserve it after all. Well, they're down 3-1. Carter, Richards, Cogliano. So anyway, Kings take on the Ducks in game 5. The Ducks basically have nothing left. Or do they? Nope, they don't. Another losing thing. A lot of what ifs did not come true. So anyway, 5-1 Kings with the win. Dustin Brown, Jeff Carter. Anze Kopitar, and Mike Richards. Kitchener made it 5-0. Bobby Ryan made it 5-1. The Ducks, they wasted all their effort against the Red Wings. So anyway, the 2013 Kings had Carter, Richards, Williams, Voynov, Muzzin, Brown, Dowdy, Scudari, Kopitar, Ellerby, Regier, Stahl, Gagne, Clifford, King, Druski, and Alex Martinez, whereas the Ducks had Bosham and Surrey. Sheldon Surrey, wow. Sabitza, Winnick, Cugliano, Allen, Fowler, Lidman, Emerson Edom, Getzlaff, Perry, Ryan, Palmieri, Boletsky, Timu. He was on the team. Nice. Bonino, Saku, Koivu. Man, they some Matthew Lombardi and Ben Lovejoy. Victor Fast looked good. Bonino got hurt. I should have put Fast in the net for game 5, but I didn't trust him. I should have trusted him. Oh well. It's just what it is, and that was quick, but effective.